Hello, everybody. Good afternoon. My name is Niko Schröer. I'm a partnerships manager in the Play Apps team based here in Berlin. And it's a great, great pleasure to have all of you here today. For a while now, I've been really focusing on the topic of subscriptions. And it's actually pretty amazing to see how far the subscription business on Google Play has come and how well it has developed. Since we got together for Playtime last time in 2016, so about 1 year ago, we have actually onboarded over 3,200 new subscription services to Google Play. Half of them which are completely new apps, with the other half coming from existing apps which started offering subscriptions. This includes developers such as vKontakte from Russia, MyCanal from France, FlightRadar24 from Sweden, or even Supercell's game Boom Beach, to just name a few. So clearly, subscriptions are having a great momentum. And proof in point, you all being here, we're having a more and more full house. And if you attended any of our events before, Playtime, Google I/O, or an industry-specific event, you should be pretty familiar with our subscriptions offering. So for today, we don't want to bore you with the basics. We don't want to bore an expert audience with kind of repeating this stuff over and over again. Instead, we will share insights on how you can take your subscriptions business to the next level. So we will talk about how you can outsmart subscriptions. As every business grows, it starts facing its own challenges. So when it comes to subscription businesses, we hear from you about such things as declining payments from users, the difficulty of figuring out the right balance between features and price points, or churning subscribers and the issues of winning them back. So for today's session, we took 10 of the most common challenges we hear from you, the developers we work with on a day-to-day basis. And we structured them in 3 buckets, the buckets that make up your subscriptions revenue. So for the next 15 to 20 minutes, we will share some solutions to help you outsmart them. Let's start with the tricky top of the funnel, acquisition and conversion. A first challenge we hear is that developers don't know where the subscribers are coming from, which markets, which channels, or which devices. And therefore, they're unable to optimize their value proposition in less performing markets, double down in the highest converting markets, or targeting more lucrative devices. So over the last few months, we've launched several subscription-specific reports in the Google Play console to allow you to easily deep dive into all of that. The user acquisition reports in the Play console allow you to understand the markets that drive the highest install and subscriptions, which acquisition channels are most effective in driving subscriptions for you, how your subs are performing along the whole funnel, and very importantly also, how you're performing against your peers. So all of that is extremely useful information for you to optimize your subscription acquisition strategy. Challenge number 2 we often hear from developers is that not enough users perceive the value of becoming a subscriber. So we have 2 solutions we want to suggest for that. First is to make sure you promote your value proposition at various touch points within the app, and especially during the onboarding. Health and fitness app Freeletics redesigned the onboarding to emphasize the value proposition, which is getting a user really fit, rather than the app's features. And this increased conversion by 10% for them. Language learning app Memorize prompts upsell opportunities based on user activity. So what that means is they detect what is the best moment to highlight premium features. For example, somebody keeps tapping on the audio button to replay a spoken word. That that then triggers an upsell prompt to highlight audio mode, which is a subscription-only feature. And they have pop-ups linked to specific they have similar pop-ups linked to specific interactions on screen. So once they detect a user is doing a certain activity in the app, that triggers the upsell. So very intuitive and very natural to the user to then go to a subscription. Another solution is a pretty common one. It's offering a free trial to get users to try before they buy. Our user study shows that 78% of subscribers start with a free experience. Oh, and as we announced in the keynote, you have asked us for shorter free trial periods. And we have listened. So now you can offer 3-day free trials instead of the minimum of 7, which we had before. So this could be really relevant for businesses with high marginal costs. Challenge number 3 we hear from developers is about users abandoning the purchase flow. And unless this is the first time you're attending any of our events or speaking to anybody of us from the team, you would probably have heard our recommendations before. Implement Google Play Billing. Implement Google Play Billing to offer your users multiple payment options across over 130 countries globally, and a trusted, reliable, and frictionless two-step checkout process. And beyond that, starting January 1st, 2018, we're updating our transaction fee for subscribers who are retained for more than 12 paying months to 15% to recognize developers who maintain long-standing subscribers and create great user experiences. Challenge number 4 is related to have users hanging around in the free tier without ever making a payment. A good solution for that would be to use introductory pricing to offer periodic sales to users. Cookpad, which is a super popular cooking app in Japan, ran a 50% discount during Ramadan, and it led to a 4.5x increase in daily subscriptions versus a comparable period. In fact, we're seeing many successes with introductory pricing. And many of the developers we speak to now consider it a key marketing tool. Now let's move on to the next bucket of challenges, those related to retention and recovery. And to me personally, it's another great sign that we get more and more questions about this, because it also means that your business has grown so much that this is actually a major point of questions and feedback we get from you. So starting with the challenge we hear from almost every developer in some shape or form, trouble of retaining subscribers. It is really something everybody talks about and everybody tries to optimize. And that is very straightforward, right? Because improving retention rate is so crucial to the bottom line of a subscription business. And therefore, we want to offer 2 solutions you can use to optimize your retention rate overall. The first solution is to give users something to nurture by gamifying the user experience. And I completely appreciate that when I mention gamification, the buzzword alert the risk of the buzzword alert going off is really high. So let's go through some best practices to add some color what we mean by that. First, it's important that you measure your users' engagement versus the engagement objectives that you have defined. Second, you want to make sure to surface this to the user and allow the user to actually show it off, for example, in their profile. Another way to think about it is to incorporate in-app rewards or real savings for users hitting engagement milestones. And then you can de-incentivize subscription churn by making valuable rewards available for subscribers only. Language learning app Duolingo successfully incorporates many of these mechanics into the app. So if you want to get some inspiration, download the app and check it out and see what they do. Also, it's peer memorized, which I've mentioned before, offers discounts to users who hit certain milestones. So they're putting the last best practice I mentioned right into practice. Again, if you're looking for some inspirations, I recommend you to check it out. The second solution to optimizing churn is more straightforward. It's to offer users longer period plans and to present them convincingly. Some tips on how to do that. First, make sure your multi-frequency plan is available at cost savings versus the monthly plan. Second, present the equivalent monthly price to highlight the cost savings. So it's easy for the user to compare and very straightforward to see what they're actually getting for committing for a longer period. 3, funnel all your promotions and seasonal campaigns to those longer period plans. The Korean SVOD platform Watch or Play diversified from one option, which was monthly, to 4 options, 1 month, 3, 6, and 12 months, and found that 40% of their users are actually choosing a multi-month option. So the next challenges that come up when it's technically too late. It's too late because your subscribers have churned. But the solutions we will show you are probably the most requested ask we've heard from you over the last couple of months and probably a year. So the first churn challenge we usually hear is that you have a hard time figuring out why a subscriber has churned. As announced at Google I/O, the new churn reports in the Play console give you visibility into the churn reasons. For example, is it voluntary churn, involuntary churn, or whether a user has also deleted your app after canceling. But an even bigger challenge we've heard from you is that you don't know when your subscribers are churning. So we're really excited to present real-time developer notifications. As Kobe talked about already in the keynote this morning, it's our new feature that immediately informs you of any change in subscriber state. Sorry. So, for example, cancellation, suspension, etc. So you can act on it immediately. So when subscribers have left, and now that you can be notified in real time, you can actually craft your win-back message and reach out to churned subscribers to pitch the benefits of your subscriptions again and to try to win them back. Angami, a music streaming service in the Middle East, optimizes the in-app messaging to churned subscribers to re-emphasize the premium features they are missing out on. For example, here in the screenshot, you see the bring back your 38 downloads, which is a subscription-only feature for Angami users. Similarly, brain training app Lumosity sends churned users emails to notify them about new content as a win-back strategy. And to close the whole win-back loop, we're now making restoring a subscription much easier with the new subscription restoration feature on Google Play Billing, which we announced this morning. So to quickly recap these last couple of challenges and solutions. Combined, this gives you a full subscriber win-back solution. The subscriber cancels. We send you, the developer, a real-time notification about that. You, the developer, then send a message to the churned subscriber. And if successful, the subscriber can go back and restore their subscription. All of that in Google Play Billing. Pretty cool, huh? So we're constantly investing in improving features related to win-back, so stay on the lookout on this topic. While all of that covered the voluntary cancellation quite well, what about the users that didn't even want to cancel, but whose payment happen to get declined because the credit card is expired, the transaction didn't go through, etc. Again, we have two solutions. These two solutions can be used separately or in combination. The first one is to enable grace period. If you have an enabled grace period, you can basically go into the Google Play console and tick the box right now. By enabling grace periods in the console, you grant users an extra 3 or 7 days to fix payment issues. And at the aggregate level, across all developers, we see that those who activate grace periods see a 50% improvement in renewal decline recovery. It is such a simple but effective optimizations you all can do basically now. And if you think granting a grace period to a user is not enough, and the user may need an additional motivation to update their form of payment, you can switch on account hold to put subscribers in a suspended state until they update their form of payment. See the notification that Univision Now pops up to users whose payment has been declined. From there, it directly deep links into the form of payment update flow in the Play Store. So whenever the user fixes their FOB for any payment on Google Play, the suspended subscriptions will be reinstated immediately. And as we announced this morning, this feature of Google Play Billing is now open to all developers. Dating app Tinder has been an early tester and actually seen a 3x increase in payment recovery since implementing account hold. So with all these new and exciting solutions to outsmart retention challenges, let's not forget about pricing. Finding the right price for any product is a science in itself. So no surprise, we quite often hear that you're wondering if you're pricing correctly or if you're actually leaving money on the table. So we want to run through 3 solutions of how you can optimize that part. First, we recommend that you test price points with the help of Firebase Remote Config. You can set up 2 or more SKUs, surface them to different user groups, and compare metrics to find out which performs better. When doing that, please remember that the goal is to maximize retention and not just the sign-up. So it may take a couple months for you to actually figure out which one works better in that regard. Solution number 2 is to offer multiple plans with varying sets of features. Entertainment app CBS successfully does cater to different audiences' willingness to pay with 2 different plans. One where you get the content with limited commercials, and one where it's completely ad-free. And both are at different price points. And then solution number 3 is to use the plan upgrade and downgrade feature of Google Play Billing to let subscribers seamlessly move between the plans. Again, Entertainment app CBS does this successfully with their limited commercials versus no commercials at all plans. So if a subscriber decides that a price point of, let's say, $9.99 a month is too much, instead of having them churn, you give them the option to kind of downgrade to $4.99. And obviously, you can do it vice versa and increase the basket size and lifetime value. So I completely appreciate this has been a lot of content in a short period of time, and it's an afternoon session. However, let me quickly recap. We presented 1 or more solution to 10 common subscription challenges to outsmart subscriptions across the complete user flow. As a next step, we of course want you to put these solutions into action. And to make this as easy as possible for you, we actually summarized all of them in a handy one-sheeter. I think it's actually 2 sheets, but anyways, which you can download under this link. I give you 20 seconds to take a picture. And because sometimes we like to kick it old school, we also have a printed out version, which you can pick up at the front, and we're going to have laying out later. So you can take it back to your teams, put it up in your office, and start getting busy with implementing these solutions. That's it from me. I really hope the session was useful. Thank you very much for paying attention.